We're in Astoria, Oregon. We're going to focus on inshore bottom fishing and inshore crabbing. So all this takes place within the bay. Where usually all of our bottom fishing and crabbing that you've seen with us takes place on the outside at different depths. This is right off the jetties. It's going to be very popular, I think, here in the next couple of years for a lot of anglers. Get ready to do some bottom fishing today. When we're bottom fishing this inshore stuff, we actually go through a lot of gear. So a lot of the pre-tied rigs are a big deal for what I'm doing. Especially when I got Chad on board. Chad's the guy with the U of O hat. He burns through gear like nobody I've ever met. I mean, I really think he bites the line before he drops it down there. Man, she's drifting fast still. One more forward?
Yeah, you're pushing.
She's ripping up.
Yep.
That's gonna have fun pulling.
I'm gonna put them back down there for this afternoon after we're done fishing. That?
Nice one.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 keepers in that one. What we have here is a clearly legal male. We can tell by looking on.
You can tell by the way it is.
You can tell by the way it is.
Do it at the up angle.
Oh yeah, that's a full guy. Here's one that hasn't molted.
That one has it?
Look, it's all barnacle.
Trap. This is a fish field trap that we're using. Overall, it's pretty good. We've had to make a few improvements to it. The doors we had to crimp, and then we had to tie these down with zip ties just to make sure. So I don't like fiddling with stuff a lot when I'm out here, but they do work. They do catch crab. I think next season we might try a little different manufacturer. Okay, let me go put these back up there. The Oregon legal limit is 5 3/4. Washington is 6. And these things are, I mean, these are 7-inch crab all day long. Look at that thing, dude. That's a super tanker right there. It looks freaking awesome. I mean, it does. It makes the legal 6 inchers look like they're tiny.
You gotta throw them back.
I think we got another month. Go December's when they start commercial fishing. They'll start picking these off.
Right. So what they do is, I was talking to one of the guys that was a commercial crabber up there, and they'll take a 2-pound crab, and they'll take that crab, and they'll clean it, and they'll pick all the meat out of there. And I can't remember the percentage. It's like something like 60%, or maybe even higher, 60 or 70% of the overall 2 pounds has to be meat, or they won't open the commercial season. So they want that crab to be X amount full before they open that commercial season. Right now we have our hooks hooked together, and that's only so we don't tangle when we're driving. Unhook those. And then I'm gonna give you a weight. And that weight has an eye at the very top. This is called the baseball bat weight, the bat weight. We're gonna take that, we're gonna clip that onto the very bottom, just like this. Okay? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw some scent in some of these here. So what happens, guys, is those rocks come down and then they hit sand. Where those fish hang out are right along the rocks, because right now this tide pushes all the bait fish right into those rocks, okay? So that's what we're looking to take advantage of. You want, Chad needs a lefty, yeah?
Chad, I can do both.
No, we have a lefty back there. Afraid to give him a little hook set, guys. If you feel that tap, give it a nice little, just raise the rod tip.
You don't really need to jig that much like
Okay.
you're doing.
Okay.
With the way the current and everything's going, if you just leave her near the bottom, they'll almost come bite it better.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, get that fatty in.
A little small. We're gonna let that one. We'll let that one. Professional, the weight broke, but you still got the weight. You grab your weight.
That's a nice one.
Oh, that's a nice one. Good job.
Yeah, so we're 2 months after the prime salmon season, August. We're out here in Astoria, and this place is absolutely slammed with people, slammed with customers, slammed with guides. I mean, everyone's out here salmon fishing. And then 2 months later, everybody goes away. Everyone's done, everyone's hunting season, everyone's burnt out, everyone's used their vacation time. And you get out here
and you'll maybe see another 5 boats on the water, 10 boats if it's a weekend, but there's a lot of fish to be had, you know. So it's crazy to see this town, this community, because all the surrounding towns as well get hit by it also. But as soon as this prime seasons go away, so does the economy. And so keeping these fisheries, Chad's got one up on the bow, keeping these fisheries alive out at these coastal towns is a really big part of the economical impact. Oh, we got a ling! Lingrio. Hi, I'm Pro Escobedo. I use Yeti coolers. You should too. There's either going to be crab in there, or there's not. Or there's not, yeah. What do you want me to talk about, life?
Well, I mean, just
So it all started, my dad said I wasn't good enough.
should be for Oregon and Washington.
What? Oh, let me put the measuring side actually up. Okay, so we got our little measuring device. It's super fancy, right? But Oregon's got to be 5 3/4. Washington's got to be 6 inches to be able to kill them. California, I don't even know why we gave you the pleasure of putting you on the same ruler as Washington and Oregon. You guys could suck it. Anyways,
They don't have the dungeon.
because you guys don't even have dungeoness. So what we do, you want to make sure that when you measure them, there's that little barb. Make sure that goes on the inside of the barb, just like that. Then you go to the opposite side on the inside of the barb, and you can see that this guy is just barely legal by Oregon standards. If it was Washington standards, he would not be legal. So he's probably right in the middle there. If I had to guess, that's going to be 5 7/8. Okay, legal crab. Some of them, plain as day, are just jumbos, right? So you're talking, that thing right there is a good, what is that, 7.5 inch crab? That thing's a monster. We have some really, really nice crab this year. But when you go out crabbing, there's a couple of tricks that people use, like using a dollar bill and things like that. Make sure you have one of these when you go out.
I did
The difference between a keeper crab and a not keeper crab is very, very minor, and it's really not worth the citation. So take the time, stop and get yourself one of these rulers. They're everywhere. They're at every sporting goods store. You're not going to not be able to find them. So no excuses when it comes to keeping illegal crab. This should be pretty much a no-brainer. But absolutely awesome crab. We got about, I don't know, they're literally falling out of a 125 Yeti cooler. We got about 80 crab in there.